session 2 of God's lessons, and we continue to look at the lessons that God teaches the people of Israel on their journey through the desert. They were slaves in Egypt, so they were in bondage. But the Egyptians believed that it was the Pharaoh who provided everything, even life itself. That's why the death of every Egyptian firstborn was such a shock to them. But the Hebrew people would have had this belief all around them as well. And so that was as much a bondage to them as the slavery itself. God was taking them to a promised land where they would have everything. He would provide everything they needed. But when they got there would have been the temptation for them to think, well, we've done all this now. It's all ours. And God warned them about this, Deuteronomy 6:10-12. When the Lord your God brings you into the land he swore to your fathers, to Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, to give you, a land with large flourishing cities that you did not build, houses filled with all sorts of good things you did not provide, wells you did not dig, and vineyards and olive groves that you did not plant. Then when you eat and are satisfied, be careful that you do not forget the Lord who brought you out of Egypt, out of the land of slavery. So that's his warning to them. He had to teach the people that they were completely reliant on him. And that's what they were going to experience in the promised land, but they needed to know it was completely God's doing. And that's why he took them through the desert, 40 years, so that they would grow into a people who depended on God. No way can you provide for yourself in the desert. We have times in our lives that are hard, and they can be seen as deserts. It's in these times that we learn to grow and to know God and to trust and love him. So often when times are hard, we blame the evil one, his attack on us. And we just want the hard times fixed up, and we want God to come to the rescue and find a way out of this. But the truth is that many of those hard times may not be the work of the evil one, but they are actually God wanting us to learn and to grow. God doesn't promise life as a chauffeur-driven limousine through lush country on a major highway. Paul actually refers to life as a walk. In 2 Corinthians 5:7 he says, we live by faith, not by sight. But the actual Greek word is walk. We walk by faith and not by sight. And that gives a picture of life as a journey that we are walking through. As the Israelites wandered through the desert, it was a desert of rocks and mountains, not sandy plains. And so very often they wouldn't have a clue what was around the next corner. But God was guiding them. And they had to trust that he was going to be around that next corner. There's no promise in Scripture that says we will reach a place that's the end of our deserts. The only picture is in Revelation 7:16. Never again will they hunger, never again will they thirst. The sun will not beat down on them, nor any scorching heat. But that, of course, is a picture of heaven, not earth. We will have desert times in our life, but the promise of God is that he's with us in that desert. And if we rely on him out there, we're going to grow in our knowledge and our love of him.